Hello, my dear children. I hope you all are doing well. According to the first midterm work, the second lesson we need to do is chapter 2 In Search of the Truth. Before we learn this lesson, we'll see what are the objectives of this lesson. From this lesson, you can learn about the story of our Lord Buddha's life before the enlightenment. And also, you can get a knowledge about the four omens. And finally, you will understand the real happiness and the reality of our lives. Okay, my dear children, we'll see the lesson. Long, long ago, King Suddhodana ruled the Sakya country in India. The king married the beautiful princess Mahamaya from the Koliya clan. They lived in the capital city of Kapilavattu and they were loved by everyone. One full moon night, the queen had a dream. After that, king called the wise men and informed them of the queen's dream. They said that the queen was to become a mother and the child born to her would one day become a great person. 10 months after, the queen was to visit her father's house for the delivery of the baby, as it was the custom in India to deliver the first baby in the parents' home. She was on the way to the Koliya city, the kingdom of her father. They were passing a garden called Lumbini Park. It is in the present Nepal kingdom. The salt trees in the park were full of salt flowers. This attracted the queen. She wanted to rest a while under the salt tree. Here the baby was born. It was a Vesak full moon day, and after birth the baby walked 7 steps forward, and at each step a lotus flower appeared on the ground, touching his foot. When he was walking, the baby said, Aggo hamasmilo kassa, jetto hamasmilo kassa, setto hamasmilo kassa, ayam manatimajati nattidani punabhava. That means, I am the chief in the world. There is no equal to me. I am supreme. This is my last birth, no rebirth for me hereafter. At the age of 16, the prince married Princess Yasodhara, the daughter of King Supabuddha. Prince Siddhartha and Princess Yasodhara spent their married life very happily and comfortably. King Suddhodana built 3 palaces for his son, named them as Ramya, Suramya and Subha. The palaces were one for the winter, one for the summer and one for the rainy season. There were parks and hunting grounds and ponds with water lilies and beautiful fish in them. Prince Siddhartha was living with Princess Yasodhara, his beloved wife, in the palace, enjoying all the comforts anyone would like to have. The palace and the park were surrounded by a high wall. But the prince was not happy. One day he told his father, Father, I must go out of the palace and see how people live. The king Suddhodana agreed and made arrangements in the city so that the prince would see a well-decorated city, the good and bright things in the city. As the prince was going through the streets, all of a sudden, from a small old hut beside the road, came out an old man with long silvery grey hair, wearing torn, dirty rags. His face looked dried, and wrinkled eyes made him appear blind. His mouth was toothless, trembling. He was bent to walk slowly with the help of a stick. The prince was surprised to see such a person because it was the first time he had seen an old person. He asked from Channa who was his closest friend born on the same day. Who is he? Is he a man? Why is he bent and trembling? And his hair is silver grey and not black. What's wrong with him? He has no. Channa, what is the meaning of this? Are some men born like this? After that, Channa explained, yes, dear prince, they are not born like that, but when they grow old, they become like this. After that, Prince Siddhartha asked, does this happen to me, you and Yasodhara? Yes, we will grow old, our black hair will turn into silver grey, and our skin will become wrinkled. Channa, so what is the purpose of us having fun? Don't think so, dear prince. You are still young. Just forget about it, dear prince. Like that way, Channa explained to the prince Siddhartha. But prince felt very sad. He thought that is a terrible thing to get old. When one grows old, he or she has to face it, even if you are rich or poor. In that time, that night, too, there was a grand royal party. There were pretty girls dancing. Dinner was grand, but the prince was thoughtful and sad because of this old man. Another day, he visited the city accompanied by Channa. He saw a man crawling on the ground, twisting his body and crying in pain. The kind-hearted prince felt sad. He carried the man and asked, what is wrong with you? The sick man cried. After that, Prince Siddhartha asked from Channa, Channa, why is the man like this? Channa explained, dear prince, don't hold the man like this. He has plague fever. He is in pain. Are there more men like this? Yes, please put him down. You may contact the disease. It cannot be cured. The prince felt sad. He returned to the palace immediately. He was thinking all about the terrible things. Old age, sickness one has to face, rich or poor. That night also, too, there was a grand party, but it was in wine. The prince was unhappy. He could not sleep. He was thinking of a way of stopping old age and sickness. Another day, he went to the city. He saw a few people coming along the street crying, while four men were carrying a plank on which a very thin man lay flat and still. The prince had not seen a dead man before. After that, prince asked from Channa, what is it, Channa? Why is he still and why did they burn him? He is dead. My dear prince, answered Channa. All beings must die. We cannot stop it. After that, the prince was shocked. He was thinking how dreadful death was. He was silent. He went to the palace. He was very sad. I must find a way to stop death, Prince Siddhartha thought. Next day, he visited the city for the fourth time. He saw a man who looked happy wearing an orange-colored robe. He did not have much hair on his head. It was shaved. After that, Prince Siddhartha asked from Channa, Channa, who is that? Channa said that he lived in the nearby temple and goes from house to house begging for his food. He preaches people how to be good and happy. After that, Prince Siddhartha told to Channa, then we too can follow a path to stop all these. Channa, but Prince, you have to undergo severe hardships if you want to follow that path. A delicate prince like you can't do so. Channa replied, why can't I, Channa? If I have a strong mind, the will and the determination to do so, there is nothing that I cannot do. Okay, let's go back, Channa, Prince Siddhartha said to Channa. I must go to find a path to stop all age, sickness and death. The prince was feeling sad. During this time, it was then that he got the news that a baby son was born to his wife. Hearing this news, he said, Rahula. He has been born and thus his son was named Rahula. King Suddhodana had arranged a grand dinner to celebrate the birth of his grandson Rahula. He invited the best of dancers and singers in the country. Although the prince attended the party, he was unhappy. He was thinking of a way of stopping old age, sickness and death. King Suddhodana had arranged a grand dinner to celebrate the birth of his grandson Rahula. He invited the best of dancers and singers in the country. Although the prince attended the party, he was unhappy. The prince was thoughtful of life when he saw the four omens in the pleasure park. An old man, sick man, dead man and the monk, which led him to leave the palace in search of the truth. He wanted to find the truth of life and thus decided to go in search of the truth. During this party, Prince Siddhartha was tired. He fell asleep, but he woke up soon. When he woke up, he was shocked at the sight of the beautiful dancers. They were fast asleep everywhere. Some were snoring. They looked so ugly. He felt disgusted and unhappy. He walked quietly and called Channa to saddle his favorite wise horse Kantaka to go out on a long journey. It was a full moon day. He stepped in quietly to see his newborn son and his wife. But he didn't change his idea. Then he slowly left the palace. He went up to the city gate. He left Kapilavattu together with Channa. He rode and crossed the river Anomatase. He then removed all jewelries and his clothes and gave them to Channa. He took his sword and cut his long hair, wore an orange-colored robe and took a begging bowl and asked Channa to go back to the palace. After that, the prince came to be known as Asita Gautama. At that time, there were many religious teachers throughout India. The best known was Alara Kalama in Visala Mahanuwara. He went to Alara Kalama in a few days and he learnt all that Alara Kalama could teach him. He learnt everything very faithfully and obediently. Finally, Alara Kalama said to Gautama, "You are the same as I. Can you teach me further of how to stop sickness, old age, and death?" "No, I don't know that myself. There is none in the world who knows that." Asita Gautama left him with his friends Kondanya, Vadya, Vappa, Mahanama, and Assaji. After that, there was another famous teacher called Uddakararama Buddha. He too taught Gautama all what he knew and would not teach any more. Asita Gautama left him with his 5 friends. He wanted to find the way to stop old age, sickness, and death. Next, he went to the state of Uruvela to the Senani Janapada. After he left, Uddakararama Buddha with his friends wandered from palace to palace. To acquire wisdom, he thought fasting was a good method and he started taking small amounts of food. Later, he took 1 meal a day. Next, 1 or 2 meals in 3 days. He ate roots of plants, leaves, and drank juices of various leaves. He strode and became thin, so much so that his legs were like bamboo sticks. His eyes were sunk, skin dry and wrinkled. His hair had fallen. Due to hunger, he had a severe pain in the body, but he continued his fasting. He was torturing his mind and body until he felt severe pains in the ears, head, and body. He wore torn and dirty clothes picked up from graveyards. For 6 long years he did this. Even though he was suffering, he did not find anything that he expected. Finally, he felt that this was not the way to find wisdom. The Gautama was in the village called Senani. He used to meditate seated under trees. One day he was meditating under the banyan tree near Neranjana river, and at that time a beautiful lady Sujata came there to fulfill the vow she had made, wishing that she should get a good husband and a son. Since her wishes were fulfilled, she came to the banyan tree. She thought that Gautama was the god to whom she prayed, and he had come down in person to accept her food. After serving milk rice to the bowl, she said, "May you be successful in obtaining your wishes as I have." After that meal, Gautama went towards Gaya. Here he found a suitable place to sit and meditate. He sat under an Asatu Bodhi tree with his face to the east and made a strong determination that he would not leave this place until he attains the highest wisdom. Enlightenment leading to everlasting happiness. Hope you all got an idea about Lord Buddha's enlightenment and the four omens. Here are some questions to do areas that we discussed with you all. Question number 1. Why was the prince sad after the first visit to the city? Question number 2. What did the prince think after seeing the sick man? Question number 3. What are the four omens? Question number 4. State why prince left the palace. Question number 5. Who was the Asita Gautama's first teacher? And question number 6. Name his second teacher. And last question. If you want to achieve something, what should you do? My dear children, you can go through the lesson and you can write the answers for this question. Thank you and goodbye all.